the moment, you've been offering weddings at £4,500.
Yeah.
So I got someone in who specialises in weddings. When she saw the rooms and was told how much you were charging, she said for the state that these are in, it was an obscenely large amount of money. Having said that, were it to be done up moderately, she believes that you could potentially do 20 weddings a year, charging a more modest £2,500 to £3,000.
With this more representative pricing structure, the Fulfords could turn over up to £60,000 a year from weddings alone. But Simon wants them to think beyond marriage ceremonies to other events which could bring customers back time and time again. He's had an innovative idea that makes use of the large, empty ballroom.
My view is that we create the Fulfords Film and Food evening here, essentially creating a pop-up country house cinema. And I think it's achievable. It doesn't require an enormous amount of capital expenditure.
I will say I do think that is a very good idea.
Thank you, Kashanda.
I have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say...
You think it's a good idea?
I think it's a very good idea.
One area where Simon believes the Fulfords are on the right track is their plan to lease some of their land for game shooting. Francis is already in negotiations with a shooting syndicate, but Simon believes that unless Kashanda drops their room prices, they will be missing out on vital extra income.
Now, in terms of the accommodation, I love staying in the room that you did upstairs. It was really comfortable, really warm once I got my electric radiators going. But not all the rooms are of that standard. I think £275 is an absurd amount of money to charge for that room based upon the thousands of hotel rooms and B&B rooms I've stayed in my life.
You say 275, which is not, of course, the rate for a room. It's the rate for the room with dinner, with all the drink you require.
How many people have stayed in those rooms?
I only had
sorry,
one.
Darling, you can...
No,
I don't
please,
want to.
I don't care.
Well, I do.
I do care. She doesn't want to care. She doesn't get it. But the
Come on,
point
Kashanda.
is...
There's no point walking out.
What you say, is because...
Francis, why did she leave?
Well, because you can't see the point. The point is, here you get into a private house.
Yes, but Francis,
I'm sorry, but we are not competing.
You're missing the point. Those
competing with a hotel.
I know.
We are not a fucking hotel.
I know, but the point is that all this offer of, oh, you can come and you can stay and it's like you're in my house, lots of people don't want that. No. The idea of spending £275 is going to be anathema to most people.
In 1986, Place Teg was empty and on the verge of collapse. It had been plundered and left derelict. Cornelia Bailey fell in love with the house and borrowed £70,000 to buy it.
It was like a cave. It was full of motorbikes and bits of old cars and things like that. It was just a dump.
Cornelia gave up her glamorous life as a Notting Hill antiques dealer and moved to North Wales. Since then, she's devoted her life to Place Teg. She has restored the house and dressed it with antiques, reproduction paintings, and hand-stitched upholstery. But her devotion has come at a cost. Cut off from her old life, she now inhabits the 30,000 square feet of Place Teg alone.
In general, I don't see many people. Sometimes I go the entire week. It's a real problem.
Cornelia opens the house to visitors for just 3 hours a week on Sunday afternoons, and to ghost hunters on occasional nights.
I don't meet the people or anything. It's too boring to be asked the same question by every single person. So I keep out of the way. I don't like people very much.
But the house costs £30,000 a year to run, and with so few visitors, it makes a massive loss. In the kitchen, Ruth discovers that Cornelia has a rather naive approach to her finances.
So what are you cooking? You've got the gas on. What's that
That's
all
for
about?
warmth.
For warmth?
Yes. When there's no central heating on. I leave it on all night as well.
Isn't that a jolly expensive and not very effective way to warm up?
No, I think it seems all right.
Really?
Do you think it costs more than having a heater?
I'm damn sure it costs more. Yes.
No, I thought it'd be cheaper.
And how much per year are you spending on heating?
I'm not... Oh, no, I think it was 7,500 for the heating last year before the increase. So
Right.
it must be up to about 10,000, I think, now.
How do you afford to spend £10,000 a year?
An old boyfriend pays for my heating because he doesn't want me to be cold.
Well, either he's the kindest man in the
He's
world.
incredibly kind.
So what else does he pay for?
All the bills.
He pays all your bills?
All my bills, because I don't have any money.
You must have attractions that I'm not getting. Pheromones or something. What on earth? That is...
It's energy level. That's what it's about.
So how long ago was it that you had a relationship with the ex?
It must be... How many years? 18.
So not last year?
20 years.
I'm absolutely gobsmacked. That's incredible and very sweet.
Cornelia is fully aware that this kindly patronage may not last forever. The Phillips have 2 bachelor sons. 40-year-old Justin has no desire to take on the house, but Ben, 42, is keen to inherit. For very good reason, John is not convinced this is such a good idea.
Everything that the family has had has been spent in large measure on this house and keeping it going.
With this in mind, John and Flavia believe their only option is to sell up. It's a decision Ben thinks his parents will live to regret.
It is such an emotional wrench for my parents for all sorts of reasons that it's very difficult for people to just calm down and think clearly about this thing.
Pensions advisor Ben lives in London, where he lodges with his aunt, Anthea. It costs £70,000 a year to run the estate, and John and Flavia are fearful of allowing their eldest son to take on such a burden.
Benjamin is, how would we describe Benjamin?
Cerebral.
He's cerebral and not practical. He could have good organisational abilities.
What, Benjamin?
He could have.
Struggling to keep the ancestral home going, the Phillips had no alternative but to put the house up for sale. 4 weeks later, Ben calls Ruth with a worrying development.
Hello, Ruth.
Hi, how are you?
I had a phone call from my dad Tuesday night. Somebody has put in an offer
Right.
on the property for 2.
2 million?
Yes, which is 40% below the asking price.
So is he seriously considering it?
He's got Mum yelling in his ear, it's an offer, it's an offer.
Ruth wants Ben to tackle this head on and suggests he calls a family meeting.
I mean, the major thing is, Ben, if I say nothing else, is don't let John bully you.
No, I'm going into this full guns blazing tomorrow.
I really think you should be trying to resist it.
I mean, Dad, this particular offer that's on the table at the moment, where are we with it?
I don't think as yet we know enough to know whether to give any positive answer. I don't think we could say I'm procrastinating, but that is nonetheless the fact.
To be honest, I think that this whole business of keeping on the market just distracts us from what we're trying to do, which is to create a business. One feels we owe more to the place than just selling it for a song.
We've got to cross the threshold and do these events, because we get, frankly, derisory offers in from time to time, and they are not, when they're scrutinised, they're not worth the paper they're written on.
Then you've got to do Plan B.
Yeah.
But then if you're going into Plan B, then you've got to stick at it.
Yeah. And I suspect we'd achieve more in 2 years by doing this than we would by twiddling our thumbs.
This whole thing is going to take a long time.
The days of talking, we've had 7 years of it, and it's got to stop.